Chris Rushworth produced the bowling performance of the season and the best of all time for Durham as he took 15 wickets in just 20 overs on an extraordinary day in the North East where the home side sent Northamptonshire to their 8th innings defeat of the season, losing this contest by an innings and 219 runs. None of that seemed possible as the third day of this LV County Championship match began with Durham on 362 for 8, the first day having been washed out. Both Callum MacLeod and Varun Aaron decided to have some fun with a bat in their hands as they speedily took the total up to 390. Neil Wagner then had Aaron held by James Middlebrook to give the Kiwi international his first 5-wicket haul in county cricket. Azarullah then knocked out MacLeod's middle stump as Durham were all out for 392. Azarullah with 4 for 95 and Wagner 5 for 104. Northamptonshire then made a steady start to their reply through their openers James Kettleborough and Middlebrook, Rushworth having absolutely no idea as to how his day was about to change into something absolutely remarkable. These two batsmen put on 33 runs. Rushworth was at the end of his 5th over when he grabbed the first of his 15 wickets, Scott Borthwick with the smart catch to remove Middlebrook for 23. It's funny how little moments make such a big difference, and Rushworth et al. Would have been disappointed when Kettleborough was put down by Collingwood in the next over. But Rushworth's next one brought him the wicket of Kyle Kurtzer, who edged to Ben Stokes. Northamptonshire went to lunch on 48 for 3, Rushworth with figures of 3 for 24 from 6.1 overs, when Kettleborough was LBW for 11. Adam Rossington survived the hat-trick ball but was out in the bowler's next over with a nick behind. And a fifer was there for the bowler just 2 balls later as Rob Newton was trapped in front with his team now on 62 for 5. It was Rushworth's first 5-wicket haul of the year. Back in July 2007, another Durham bowler, Otis Gibson, became the 79th man in first-class cricket to bag a 10-for in an innings when he claimed 10 for 47 against Hampshire. Rushworth had 6 from 6 when Ben Duckett was bowled for a duck. It was 7 for the first time in his career for the 28-year-old when he also disturbed Rob Keogh's stumps, a wicket which now left the visitors in panic on 65 for 7, with Rushworth now having 50 wickets in this championship season. The total became 65 for 8 3 balls later as Wagner drove to Mark Stoneman, and now the talk was all about all 10 for the rampant Rushworth. It's not often you hear a groan from the home support when their team takes a wicket, but there was a little disappointment to be found when Stokes had Maurice Chambers caught in the slips, leaving it to Rushworth to bag his 9th for figures of 9 for 52 from 12 overs as Azarullah slogged to Stoneman. In only 23 overs, Northamptonshire had been dismissed for 83, losing all 10 of their wickets in 14 overs to trail on first innings by 309. Invited to follow on, the hapless visitors were soon in disarray again, Stokes with the first wicket this time as Kettleborough edged to Paul Collingwood. With his 87th delivery of the day, Rushworth had his 10th victim in his pocket. Kurtzer taken by Borthwick at second slip as Northants slumped again to 18 for 2. Rushworth surely could hardly understand what was happening when, in his next over, he bowled Middlebrook, Northamptonshire getting to the point where they were almost too scared to play a shot. The talk now turned to Durham's bowling coach, Alan Walker, who once took 14 wickets in a match against Essex in 1995. Rushworth had 12 when he trapped Keogh in front. And 2 balls after that, Newton edged a peach behind to leave Northamptonshire on 30 for 5, slumping to a new low in a horrible season, the batsman with a 4-ball pair. It was now a matter of how long Rushworth could keep going. In his 18th over of the day, he had his 14th wicket as Duckett edged to Borthwick. Rushworth with his second 5-wicket haul in the matter of a couple of hours. Since taking his first, Rushworth then bagged his 15th wicket for 59 runs in 13 overs and 2 deliveries. Walker's record had been broken as Andrew Hall was bowled. Tiring, Rushworth was then hit for a 6 and a 4 by Rossington and was taken off. Peter Chase then struck with his second delivery, Rossington's next big hit finding Stoneman. People may have forgotten that the Indian test bowler Aaron was even playing, but he now joined in by removing Chambers. And the embarrassment for Northamptonshire was over in just the 18th over of their second innings as Wagner clubbed this ball from Chase to Stoneman. 83 first time out had been added to by 90 in the second dig, all 20 wickets falling in 31 overs. Rushworth with 6 for 43 before he, quite rightly, was cheered off. What a day! Rushworth's figures for the day, bringing him 15 for 95 from 20 overs, with 3 maidens, the best figures in the championship since Martin Bicknell's 16 for 119 against Leicestershire in the year 2000. It all meant a win by an innings and 219 runs for Durham's third victory in a row, one that gives them a chance of finishing in the top 3. Northamptonshire have now lost 12 of their 15 games and 8 by an innings. They took 3 points to Durham's 23. It was all a little mind-boggling.